SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.
I'm Steve Azar, and I'm on the other side of the microphone, meaning I'm asking the questions this time, and oh, have mercy for the airwaves. I spent 20 years in Music City, wrote and made some hits, traveled the world, and then moved my family back to the birthplace of American music and where the magnolia trees prosper. And now every time I put my feet on Mississippi soil, when I'm off the road, well, I'm at peace. On this show, it's all about hearing the stories straight from the mouths of the friends I've made along the way, their journey to success. Heck, there might be someone on, I don't even know, but you know how us Mississippi types are. We tend to take well to new company. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them. I'm Steve Azar. It's just like that muddy river, moving slow. Ain't no worries, it's how life goes, baby. In a Mississippi Minute. Hey folks, time for another In a Mississippi Minute. Excited about today's guest. This is his 12th stay. We call it a stay on In a Mississippi Minute. And I'm going to get to him in a second. Before we get to him, visit Mississippi.org is the place to check out. My guest has been to Mississippi many times now, comes to our charity event every year, and he is special, to say the least. But I love him. Obviously, dig having him on my show because I have him on so much. He survived many weather tests in his career as a football star and a mountain climber, all 7 summits. From a standout and prolific college football career at the University of Washington, over there where he was enshrined into the Hall of Fame, of course, Football Hall of Fame there, to his NFL career days. I used to love watching him play for the New Orleans Saints, my New Orleans Saints, that is. And also, he wound up in the Oakland Raiders, which is a team you could pull for. I think the whole country sort of dug that silver and black before he retired. And then going on to compete on the mountain, climbing all 7 summits. And NFL Films 360 did that film with him, and they did win the Emmy for Best Documentary. Blows my mind. It's awesome to have him on. He's a special guy, and I can't wait to talk to him about his newsletter that he sent that I'm on, and how you guys can get in on the newsletter as well after today with Mark Pattison.
How are we doing?
Don't even know what that intro said, but
I don't know. It had a lot of good stuff in there.
Yes, I may have to go edit it. I don't know. How are you doing? You're in Boston right now?
I'm in Boston right now. You know what I need more than anything?
Some catfish.
I need catfish.
I've got it for you right here.
Yeah, I know you do. And you know what?
Tweety bird.
They got a lot of lobster.
Yeah. I would trade you right now. Look,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but there's a bottomless pit that I have for lobster. There's no end. I could just sit and you'll just have to run me off if I'm in Maine or Massachusetts. I can't. Yeah. I think it's the greatest thing. And, I grew up on crawfish, and you grew up while you were playing football down here, you learned all about crawfish. When I found out that there was a bigger crawfish and it was called a lobster, I just gave up on the other guy. It's too much work.
I got to tell you an interesting factoid since I'm sitting here in the great state of Massachusetts. When I climb, you in the intro, you talked about, climbing the 7 summits, which I've done and many other peaks since. I'm going to climb another peak up here on the East Coast this week in a couple of days. But when I climbed North America's highest peak, which is Denali, okay?
Yep.
I'm trying to change the name back to Mount McKinley after our former president, okay? The Denali National, just to get some context, the Denali National Park, okay, is bigger than the state of Massachusetts.
What?
It's true. It's just...
Where is that? Where is Denali?
Well, in Alaska. I'm sorry, I should have said that.
Yeah, I needed that.
Yeah. So that's way north, and it was part of Hawaii and Alaska were like the last 2 that we brought in, to make it all 50. And Alaska alone is just giganto. But on top of that, the national park is so huge that it actually is bigger than the state. So I learned that when I was up there and climbed it. I actually climbed it twice. Insane minus.
Of course you did, because that's you. You like playing 36 in a day, and then you're going to want to. Yeah, you're going to want to climb a mountain twice. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, minus 90 degrees too. Coldest I've ever been.
Minus what?
90. I have it recorded.
So what do you wear?
It's just, you're in we made like igloos and we had tents and we built.
But you're climbing and you're having to be able to feel your body. Yeah. So relate this to football. Did you used to cut the sleeves off in negative 13-degree wind chill in Lambeau. I mean,
Yeah,
what are you telling me? That's not possible to survive that
it's
temperature.
not. And actually, the first time I was up there in 2017, we turned around and went back because we knew we'd come back with like no head, no fingers, no toes,
I
right?
don't understand it.
Yeah.
So
So,
how long was the climb at -90?
well, it was 3 weeks, but I mean, it was probably 90 minus 90 of those 3 weeks, but we got in a gigantic snowstorm. I did not make the summit. I got all the way almost up to the top. But part of, mountain climbing and doing it in what I think is a safe way, the way I have chosen to do it, is knowing also when to turn around, which is very hard for me. But when it gets to that ultimate point where it's life and death and decision, like, it happened on Everest again,
Yeah,
where I was supposed to, coming down off Everest, I was supposed to go up and start climbing Lhotse, the fourth highest mountain in the world, and I knew I'd die. So there's sometimes when you just got to call it.
okay, you didn't call it at Everest though, and you didn't call it because you were truly stubborn and you had to do it. So did you have a little bit more determination and a little
Well,
bit more like in the tank maybe, or there's no way I'm not climbing Everest because it was Everest?
no, I don't know. It's a good question. We could debate that all day long, and maybe it was stupidity, stubbornness. I've got this whole thing about just another 10 feet, just another 10 feet, and one step at a time. And so certainly that applied in that case. And I was so laser focused on that goal, and that was the gold medal. And so trying to think about trying to climb the fourth highest mountain, like 8 hours later after I came down, I was completely shot, done, wasted, snowblind, everything else. I just knew would turn into a disaster.
This is the part of the conversation that you and I have that makes me extremely tired. I just want you to know that. And then when we start talking about all this stuff that you send via your email, and I love reading everything that you do and your podcast as well, Finding Your Summit. I get so reinvigorated. It's the opposite of feeling right now, what you've done to me. I'm cold right now,
Yeah,
-90, a little
yeah,
bit cold,
yeah.
and want to go, suck my thumb and get in a corner right now. But other than that, all right, let me ask you this about that real quick. Well, about what you told me off air.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you're climbing a place in New Hampshire that I
Yeah.
didn't even know it existed that gets so windy that it's not safe, correct?
It's yeah, there's been a lot of deaths. So in New Hampshire, and I've been fascinated with this mountain for years and always thinking like in the future, and the future is never the present, so it's easy to put these things off. But at some point in the future, that maybe I would climb this mountain. It's not very high. It's only 8,200 feet. But in I don't know the exact year, but a number of years ago, it's got the highest recorded uh, wind of all time at 225 miles per hour. Now, it could have been, via a nor'easter, with their famous back here, these crazy storms that blow through. It's very exposed. There's not a lot of protection around it. It's always windy. I'm going to climb a smaller mountain tomorrow, and there's going to be like high wind going on this one, which is a next door neighbor to Mount Washington. I'm told, it could be like, 20-mile-per-hour winds that are going to drop this thing down to like 10, 15 degrees. So, we'll just see. But, part of the whole trick of doing everything, and the reason why people get in trouble is because they don't have all the what ifs in their backpack. I'm always carrying the stuff, extra this, extra that. So if these different weather systems come in and catch you off guard, you are ready to go. You can protect yourself. You can protect your hands, your head, your feet, and we're in the right kind of gear. It's a big part of mountain climbing and doing it in a very successful way.
Extra this, extra that, a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that, weighs
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
right?
It
So
does.
you gotta, so I know how you work out daily,
Yeah.
and you also document it because you want to watch first of all, I can tell how in awe you are every day waking up and seeing where you live in Sun Valley and exercising and going out there, and the terrain it's ridiculous. It's inspiring, amazing. Emmy winner, just amazing. Searching for the Summit. That's the documentary you can watch on NFL Films 360. We'll be right back with my pal. Visit Mississippi.org. My road trip is waiting for you.
Is enough to know. Baby, you're my sunshine.
Everybody needs a little sunshine. Yeah, you're my sunshine. 'Cause like the dawn, you push it all the way.
Securing America.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth attended the NATO defense ministers meeting in Belgium Wednesday, where he spoke of U.S. efforts to extend security in Europe and specifically in Ukraine through an updated process.
European countries buy U.S. weapons transferred to NATO for the fight in Ukraine.
Hegseth adding that the hope is that the program expands as
more countries donate even more, that they purchase even more to provide for Ukraine to bring that conflict to a peaceful conclusion.
The secretary says the key is the attitude towards security the U.S. is projecting internationally.
You get peace when you are strong, not when you use strong words or wag your finger. You get it when you have strong and real capabilities that adversaries respect.
NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte echoed the secretary's thoughts, citing increased defense spending by the coalition's European members. Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
The one.
There ain't no street in this town where the memories don't lay thick on the ground. I've decided I'm going to climb all 7 levees here in the Mississippi Delta, and I'm going to be able to do a documentary, Finding My Levee. I know visitmississippi.org will be excited about that. There are levees all over the place down here. Nothing compared to what my pal Mark Pattison, Emmy-winning film by NFL 360, Searching for the Summit, that he achieved 7 summits, all 7, finishing at Mount Everest, and now he just goes back and redoes them all. It's crazy.
No, I don't do them all. But, I have been on the Matterhorn. I have been chance to do Mont Blanc, and last year I did the Eiger. I just got off the Dolomites.
Well, that's pretty much most of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's not those 7 highest peaks of the world, but there are other, right? And there's a hill everywhere. But I want to say one thing, because I was at a dinner party the other night, and it's our next door neighbor who, they know my whole story and everything, but they brought over their cousins, and they were wonderful. They were wonderful, just like some of those people down at the Delta Soul that are down at that place we go on Thursday night, to eat.
Doe's Eat Place, baby.
Yeah, Doe's, right? It's great, but the guy came over and he was so impressed with some of this stuff. And he goes, God, aren't you just so proud? And don't you feel like this, like you're so impressed with what you've done and your accomplishment? And I said, no. And the reason why that is because it's always been the love of game. It'd be like, you creating a hit record. And isn't that amazing? Of course it's amazing. But you have such a love of the game, of playing the guitar and waking up every day and strumming the chords and figuring out, and when is that next melody going to come and hit to create that next hit, right? Things like that.
You're never, ever, ever, ever satisfied. You just played that game. You happened to win it rather than lose it.
That's right.
I get what you're saying, but the love of the game is so much better than the victories. The victories are great. We know that, right? But I can tell you, you remember all the failures along your life, the mountains you didn't quite climb, literally and metaphorically, right? So you've experienced it all, but I know where you're heading. I think it's the best looking forward rather than dwelling in the celebration.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times what gets missed in all this is, and I really authentically believe this, is that I flipping love the process. The fact that I train all year. That's where I get all my joy. And then I cruise off like I'm right now. I'm going to go up and climb, Mount Washington in 2 days, and hope for the best there. But it's all the prep and all the training and all the kind of stuff that leads up.
How are you going from Mount Washington? Okay, wait, you just said it. Mount Washington is in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I can't do it. I just thought you were about to try to take 2 mountains on 2 days.
I'm just trying to say that, the love of the game is in the process. And then, like you said, the victory is great and everything. But, I'd never dwell on, I played football and I was an NFL guy. Like, none of that matter, I did it because I loved the game, and then it was time to move on and go find something new. And then, that part's done, and so now I go find another mountain to climb, right?
But
And
you and I have talked about this. I mean, I know you don't like to dwell on it and whatever, but I can dwell on it
yeah,
because you're my pal,
yeah,
and I am in awe of what it took physically, mentally, spiritually, every inch that you had beyond that, to get to the highest level in your sport. That is just, I know you don't dwell on it. I know you move forward, but I can dwell and I can say that's pretty dang amazing. It's
Well,
just amazing.
I'll tell you this, and this is like just me and you talking now. Nobody else is listening to this, right?
Yeah.
And
I hope somebody's listening.
so this kind of came out through this book. I'm close to completion, and we'll talk about that some other
Yeah.
time. But
Yeah.
Your Summit is the book, right? And it's how you overcome with peaks and valleys with resilience. That's more or less the take. But one of the things that came out of this is that when you really have to dig down, and my co-writer was just kept asking the question, like, where does this drive come from? Where does this drive come from? And maybe some people can relate to this, but from a young age, and there's all kinds of examples which we don't need to go into, but the bottom line is that there was just always this thing of I'm not good enough.
Hmm.
That's always followed me around wherever I've gone.
Well, why do you think?
Well, again, that goes down a rabbit hole, what from
We got a
from
Mississippi Minute's great with rabbit holes.
well,
Really
yeah,
good.
I mean, like, look, my when athletically, everything came very easy for me.
Mhm.
My sister was just the opposite. So, they wanted to balance everything out. So, I'd go in a high school game or something and score 3, 4 touchdowns, and that happened multiple times. And I'd come home and they'd say something like, Kai, you blocked really nice tonight. And then, oh, Kathy, what are you doing? It had nothing to do with my sister, she's the sweetest person ever. She's
Yeah.
amazing. But in those days, parenting, it's the first time through it, and they're trying to figure out how to balance, like, the
Yeah.
kid that's getting all this attention and somebody else who's the ugly duckling, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And that's not her. She's not ugly duckling, but from the standpoint of just, taking her
No,
mom.
no, no, no. You're all built to do different things,
Yeah,
and certain things have accolades tied to it. And
yeah,
like you have benchmarks. Like I scored 4 touchdowns in a game.
yeah,
That's not normal, and
yeah,
that's special. And your parents were trying to spread the love as far as they could. Sometimes they end up spreading it more over there because they have to level the playing field.
yeah. And
But
that's
they know what's built in you. They knew what was built in you. And those touchdowns didn't come because just you had talent, that you also worked at that talent to become that special, to get to college and become a Hall of Famer at Washington and to big D1 school and Pac-10 school back in the day. Now I know they're in a different conference in the Big Ten. But with that said, and then go to the NFL and play for a long time, I just feel like that's pretty dang amazing to get your pension in the NFL and all that stuff. I
no,
mean, that takes crazy determination and some stupidity in a way and belief.
yeah,
So I feel like in my career, I was really just dumb enough to believe that I could do it. And it takes that naiveness and stubbornness, like you talked about earlier, to be able to have the energy to work at it that hard, So to work at it that hard. So I know what you're saying in that regard. We still, I want to read something, and then I want to dig
yeah,
into something that the
yeah,
reason I wanted to get on this call was one of your newsletters.
yeah.
First of all, how can folks go to your newsletter?
Go to my website, www.markpattersonnfl.com, and there's a little box down there that says, hey, you want the newsletter? Put your email in there and we'll send it off.
Patterson's with two, it's Pattison, not Patter,
Yeah,
Pattison.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, and if markpatterson.nfl.com.
yeah.
Okay, so here's what one of the newsletters I got a while back that just has knocked me out. Okay. He says, I've had a lot of coaches, teammates, and mentors in my life. Some lit a fire in me, some tore me down, and just a few changed my life forever. Looking back, I realized the leaders who made the deepest impact weren't the loudest, the toughest, are the flashiest. They were the ones who led by example. They listened. They showed up when it mattered most. They were the leaders I needed, especially during the toughest moments. And over time, I learned something very important. If I didn't always have the leader I wanted, I could become that leader for someone else.
Yeah.
Whether you're leading a team, a family, or simply trying to lead yourself better, here's how to become the leader you once wish you had. Let's take a quick break, and I'm going to start going 1 through 10 with my pal Mark Pattison, creator of such leadership skills. Finding Your Summit is his podcast, Searching for the Summit. Searching for your summit. Searching, to help me out, Mark. Exactly.
Searching for the Summit.
For the Summit, yes, is the documentary chronicling the magic of him winning an Emmy, NFL Films 360.
Yeah.
Visit Mississippi.org. More Grammys than anywhere on planet Earth. We'll be right back.
I'll find me. I'll find. There ain't no streets I'm still trying to find my way.
Up to $20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute. A Connecticut mom locked in a bitter custody battle accused of poisoning her estranged husband. 33-year-old Kristen Hogan arrested in Ridgefield, charged with 2 counts of attempted murder and other charges. Accused of poisoning wine and iced tea in her ex's home with ethylene glycol, the main ingredient in antifreeze. Her husband says he drank a small amount of wine corked in his fridge August 10th. He realized something was wrong when he kept waking up sick throughout the night. In the morning, he called his parents. His mom found him staggering, slurring his words and vomiting, and took him to the hospital where he was put in the ICU for renal failure. Doctors realized he had been poisoned. He believes Hogan went into his home to poison the wine the day she was supposed to go to a court hearing but never showed. After initially denying the accusations, Hogan said she never wanted to kill her husband, just, quote, make him sick as payback for being mentally abusive. She's being held on $1 million bond. There's more on the story at foxnews.com or subscribe to the Fox True Crime Podcast. I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute.
In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Flying down that levee road, trying to see how fast you go.
Back with Mark Pattison. Visit Mississippi.org, where he loves to come visit down on Mississippi soil. We are blessed and with the gravity of Mark Pattison, my guest. Go to visit Mississippi.org, the birthplace of America's music. Mark has climbed all 7 summits, mountains that is, and we're digging into his 10 steps to be the leader you wish you had. I mean, I love that. I love saying that. That means you're making no excuses, are you? So 10 steps to that. First one is lead yourself first. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, I mean, I think you lead by example. I think that like right now, as you know, that I founded going on 9 years ago, a division of Sports Illustrated to do team site coverage throughout the country, right?
Yeah.
And become the fastest growing vertical. It leads all parts of Sports Illustrated, and we've done amazing. And with that, I've got about 300 people underneath me that I've handpicked on, and I've had to teach and mentor. And you can either coach up or you can coach down. And I feel as though that I have to be that example for them. Do what I say what I do, and you will be rewarded. You screw that up, you lose it, you plagiarize, you use AI, you do other things, you're going to be gone. But you have to create a standard and then live by that standard. And you can't have one example for this superstar over here who seems to be doing well and then not apply that same standard for the person over there. Treat everybody the same, be fair, and reward.
Very interesting. You say you can't guide others if you're not clear on your own direction. Focus on values, discipline, and self-awareness. All right, number 2, practice what you preach. A cliche, but very, very loaded, those 4 words. Be the one who follows through. Integrity starts with consistency.
Yeah, I mean, I think like every day, how you do something is how you do everything. I mean, I live by that, right? And so every single day I wake up exactly at 5:45, not 5:46, not 5:44, 5:45. And by 6 o'clock, my feet are out the door with a headlamp, right? Every single day, 7 days a week, even when I'm here this morning, out the door. Now, I switched it a little bit because I'm in a new time zone. I didn't get in until 2 o'clock in the morning. So I had 4 hours of sleep, but I was back out the door doing the same thing. And so having that discipline, applying it to your life, I think how you start the day can finish the day, right? And then knowing that I've accomplished something, I had that discipline that even though I was tired, I only got 4 hours of sleep. I was back up this morning and doing the same flipping thing that I do every single day in Sun Valley, even though I'm traveling. There was no excuses. And then having that right kind of nutrition. And then when I settled in and I start doing my day with everything else, I'm taking it with that same vengeance, knowing that I feel like the day's half over when the day is just beginning.
Mm-hmm. Do the days feel longer for you? And what time do you call it quits and hit the sack?
No, I go to bed at 10 o'clock and people think I'm cuckoo, but the worst part of my day is when I hit the sack at night at 10 o'clock. It's the worst part of my day because I don't want to go to bed. I feel like maybe it's because of, like I've been around for a while now and
you want to be awake as long as you can.
Want to be awake as long as I can, right? We got the whole,
I got you.
Sleep, right? And so, I mean, that's real, right? And so
yeah, it's real.
I feel so energized about life and all the things I haven't done versus what I have done that I feel like I'm just leaving a lot on the table by going to bed. Right?
I can tell you that since 1984 for me, there's probably not been 6 days a week I haven't done something. First thing I do it first thing in the morning, like you do. I like to get it done, and then I say my prayers, and then I grab my coffee. I earn my coffee, as I say it, and then I get to it. But I like getting a lot done before most. But I don't do it at 5:45. Now, if I've got to be on the road at 5:30 to go to the airport, I'm working out at 4 a.m. Mine's only 30 minutes, and it's pretty wimpy to say the least compared to yours. How long do you put the time in the morning? What's the time like? How long? An hour and a half, 2 hours?
Hour and a half in the morning, but then I also go out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I go do another hour and a half.
Why do you have to rub that in? I mean, like, are you kidding me? Well, what's that? 3 hours?
Yeah. So
no wonder you're in such great shape.
Yeah, but again, I also have big goals, right? And if I want to be able on a moment's notice, be able to fly back to Boston, then go off to New Hampshire and climb Mount Washington and do the things I want to do, I don't want to have to train like starting from ground zero. Or it's just like it's no different than.
I got it. No, you can't. You won't let yourself go there.
But you are such a finely tuned instrument yourself of playing all. I'm looking at a mandolin and about 5 guitars, hanging on the wall. You got all this stuff going on, and all the sound equipment and all the other folks, right? That you can't just like, I'm checking out for a year and maybe I'll come back to it. Like somebody who says, no, I'm going to go eat, fried chicken, for a year and not work out and not take care of your body, just going to set you so far behind. And I'm trying to like double up to catch up because the older you get, your body starts to break down.
I know. It takes extreme discipline. So for New Year's resolution, the one thing I don't have to do is tell myself I'm going to work out every day. I take off Sunday like Chick-fil-A, and that's my deal. But I am dedicated to that. Now, listen, as I've gotten older, push-ups don't work as good as bench press anymore. So they don't. So I've had to hit some weights, and I'm doing that. And I understand that you have to do more and more. I just want to make sure that I sort of say the size that I want to be for a stage and also be physically fit to be able to perform and make sure my back is strong enough to be able to lean into a microphone. I know it sounds wimpy. It's wimpy. Okay, guys, it's wimpy. But your back, after all these years since I was a little kid leaning into a microphone, I mean, there's you develop bad posture and you're slumping a lot. And sometimes you got to focus on pulling your shoulders back a little more to relieve the pressure and all that. So I have to deal with that. It's the way it is. All right, listen.
Yeah, wait. I got one more comment on that.
Yeah, doesn't sound too exciting, does it?
No. But I mean, one of the things that unfortunately, like what I did and what you do is, as an athlete. Now, no, I'm not talking about as a mountaineer, but as a football player, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody hits their peak, and few are the Tom Brady's of the world. Which, by the way, Claudette interviewed this morning.
Oh wow, your daughter Claudette.
Yeah,
wow, that's cool for Sports Illustrated. Wonderful.
Yeah. But, for you being a musician, right, where it's been this lifelong thing, I used to go see you back in, maybe 7, 6, something like that. But, your visual up there, everybody's, they're taking pictures of you, they're recording you, you're on out there. I mean, you're out there a lot when you're out there doing your thing because you've chosen to be in that kind of space that puts you in everybody. And I would imagine that, like if I were going to be in front of everybody all the time, I'd want to try to be the best version of myself, right? And good and have great energy and posture and all those other things that you were just talking about.
Well, I feel like it all adds up for me, and it's disrespectful for me not to care about that. To anybody that wants to come see us play. It's just the way I've always been built. Yeah. And my wife is, she's stunning, and I don't want to look too bad near her as much as I do. Anyway, all right. So, and a good compliment after 35 years. Did she hear that? Maybe I was kind of hoping I get some points on that. All right. Okay. So number 4, stay calm in chaos. I love this. I love this. Easier said than done. When things get messy, people look to you. Be the steady hand that helps them rise.
Yeah, I really believe that. I've had a lot of crazy moments in my life, and back in the 2008, I was heavily leveraged out. Like a lot of people, I was, as they say, cash poor and land and house rich, a lot of things. But, it was a stressful situation. And then you throw a wife and 2 kids into that mix and like, how are you going to navigate through this and just trying to stay calm? At the end of the day, like I said, it's a lot easier said than done. And even though I came across as a very cool cucumber, so to speak, I was burning up inside, right? Just like, how am I going to navigate this? But at least to the people that I was dealing with, I was very calm, cool, collected, and going through these things of like, let's really think about this, how we're going to navigate this problem and how we're going to move on to the next thing. I think this same thing applies that when I've been in the mountains and all hell is breaking loose and people are falling over. And this happened to me when I was in Antarctica, and, we were, it was probably minus 50, something like that. We were up at Camp 4. We'd come down from the summit, and we woke up in the morning, and it was blowing about 50 miles per hour, and it was the coldest I've ever been in my life, and we were supposed to break down these tents. And I just told everybody, I got to take a time out. I can't be a team member right now because I need to go put on these serious, high, thick, they almost look like boxing glove type mittens, because I knew I was probably within minutes of my hands freezing.
Gosh.
Yeah. So that's, trying to be level-headed minded enough where you can take a time out, go over to your tent, go get the right kind of gloves and put those on in a very chaotic.
Just amazing. Searching for the Summit. That's the documentary you can watch on NFL Films 360. We'll be right back with my pal. Visit Mississippi.org. Plan a road trip. It's waiting for you.
Highway 61. Highway 61.
Up to $20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
SuperTalk Mississippi.
Driving this 75 Cadillac, I've got the top rolled back on a southern born and cloudy day, down a long stretch of highway. I know this day is gonna be my friend, long as I'm here, baby, in the flat.
Back with Mark Pattison, visit Mississippi.org, where he loves to come visit down on Mississippi soil. We're blessed and with the gravity of Mark Pattison, my guest. Go to visit Mississippi.org, the birthplace of America's music. Mark has climbed all 7 summits, mountains that is, and we're digging into his 10 steps to be the leader you wish you had. Okay, stand up for what's right, even when it's unpopular, especially when no one else is willing to.
Yeah.
You're the lone man on the mountain.
Yeah, well, this has happened at Sports Illustrated where people I've had, my senior other executives, like, we want to replace this guy. And then I have to stand firm in my thing where, in some cases it gets into a shouting match, right? And it's just like, no, I'm not doing this. And it's not the right thing to do. It's not the right thing for the integrity of the network. It's not the right thing to do for that site. And it's not the right thing to do for that person. So,
is that person seeing what kind of shape you're in? Are they want to take it out on the street? Are they crazy?
No, but
Okay.
it's just like here's the thing with me.
I mean, you've got a long reach, just FYI. I'm just saying.
But I'll just tell you this: like I could like you and I could go at it, like, and disagree on something, like,
And
right?
we could not go at it. I'm just saying. Okay.
No,
go ahead.
no,
Yeah.
but no, I'm not talking about physically, but I'm just
Okay, good.
like
Hallelujah.
get pissed off, and then you and I could go grab beer afterwards and have some caffeine.
Yeah. And that's what this is how y'all are doing it. Y'all just get into heated discussions.
Well, they're not always heated, but
They're passionate.
Yeah, and the question, it'd be like, because I'm the founder of doing this on Sports Illustrated, right? And you're the founder of the Steve Azar experiment, right? And so if you got into a room and you've got all these bandmates around and you're getting into the argument with the horn player or something because he doesn't think this riff should go a certain way, and you're like, this has to be the way it is because, or maybe it's the title of the song or something, where that you were so passionate about because it says the words 1, 2, 3 Mississippi, whatever it is, right? And that's the way I'm about some of these different subjects that come up, and I just get heated because I started it and I think I know what's best, and so far it's all worked. So why would we change it, right, on doing something? And I can get in these heated things and then again go out and, like, it's all good. Like, when I hang up, it's all done.
It reminds me of I Don't Have to Be Me Till Monday when we wrote it.
Yeah.
Brought it to my publisher, and everybody in the room we played it said, sorry, say it, you mean you want to be yourself? And I started getting confused.
Yeah.
And then you start second guessing yourself. No, that's not. No. The whole point is that you are yourself during the week, and it's good to just let that side of you go and recharge and da-da. And they couldn't get it. Then the argument was with the record label, shouldn't we just call this Till Monday? Or I Don't Have to Be Me, or this. I said, no, because DJs love to hear their own voices. Yeah. And they're going to want to say, I don't have to be me till Monday over and over. So I had to fight. Those were all little mini fights, but at the end of the day, I figured out how to let it be their idea as well. So I didn't have to go all the way because I felt like they would come my way if they really thought about it. And so the arguments never turned into arguments. They turned into good, debatable discussions, and the rest is history. All right, we're not going to finish. This is as far as we're going in this show. You always get me thinking. You always get me motivated. And I can't tell you how much it meant to our foundation, to me, our family, to Gwen, and to my sister Vicky and Brian, who happened to have just bought a place over there with you. So I've got no excuse but not to come visit now. Now you got me. You got me. I'm staying with you guys, though. I'm not staying with my sister, and my brother-in-law. It's not happening. All right, Mark Pattison, folks. What a wonderful, wonderful man. Crazy talented. Washington Husky Hall of Famer, New Orleans Saints, Oakland Raiders, searching for the summit.
Yep. One other tidbit for you.
Yeah.
if anybody, any listener ever goes to Las Vegas and they're going to a game at Allegiant Field.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I don't deserve this, but it happened. The Raiders, when they built the stadium 3 years ago, on the north side of the stadium in the cement, they put 102 of the all-time great players.
Are you cemented in there?
Like Marcus Allen, Bo Jackson, Jim Plunkett.
You got Mark Patterson?
Mark Patterson's sitting in the cement.
Wow. Says it all. I got chills right now, and they're multiplying, and I'm losing control.
I don't deserve it.
I love it. That's awesome. That is amazing. Well, there you go. Well, you do deserve it, and that's why they put you there. They didn't do it because they necessarily loved you, which they do, but they did it because you earned it, and that's in the stats, baby. Mark Patterson, Searching for the Summit. That's the documentary on NFL 360 Films, the Emmy winner. Finding Your Summit is his podcast. It's everywhere. Check it out. Mark, you're the best. Visit Mississippi.org. It's shining right now because I had you on. I can tell you because they know you love this place. There you go. Later on.
I'm Steve Azar. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them, where you can take your sweet time.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now. A SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.